Hey, I'm Kev, Mr. Cole. Welcome back to rFactor 2. Got another race in the TRS Toyota Racing Series. And the FT-60 has got 25 of that race around Teratonga Park, which we won't survive if we keep doing that. As we start 14th in this 20 car grid. Once again, bud, what are you doing in front? Just to try and survive this opening lap. There's someone on the curb. There's into the hairpin. Someone's just stuck it on our inside. What a send. Not the best opening that. As we go down the second longest straight in New Zealand on a race. Basically behind Tapo, I believe. So we're 17th now, and we've got someone right on our tail. Just through that southern loop, what a corner that is. And then into Castrol. A bit more technical in this middle sector. Still flowing, still virtually full throttle as well. And then into the hairpin where we got sent. And now through the elbow to end the lap of this just over 2.5 kilometre, 1.5 mile long circuit with 7 or 8 corners. But now it says 8 in rFactor 2, but in the broadcast they said they only had 7. So we're into the 54s already. That's the pace that was setting this past weekend around this circuit. As we had another 3 races of the 2020 Toyota Racing Series, and I thought Hyde-ons was disappointing. 3 races round here definitely weren't. Great action-packed races. And it seems like the championship battle is already, you can already see where it's headed. And who's going to be between already. A bit wide there. Lots of drivers did that during the weekend. As it started off with a bang, unfortunately. The racing series. We've been beaten by the test drive, I got to. As Chelsea Herbert had a massive accident going into this corner in qualifying 1. So she was out for the weekend with a fractured vertebrae. Hope she gets better soon. We'll see her return to the TRS. That's better through that. So qualifying 1 actually turned into a frantic 2-minute sprint. And who came out on top? Igor Fraga. M2. Who did not come out on top? Liam Lawson. He got caught out, did the reigning champ. Qualified down in 13th for the first race. Also Sonoda got caught out as well, so a lot of big guns did. So we had Gregor Saucy on the front row, the Swiss driver alongside Fraga. And then the Swiss driver had taken the lead heading into the first corner. Had jumped the Brazilian. He struggled just to change up the second gear, he said, in the pros race, like from first to second. So he didn't get the launch he wanted. He kind of got boxed in heading towards the first corner by the Swiss driver. But then they got jumped by Calcolette, the Brazilian. He started 4th and had a superb getaway. Just went around the outside of both of them into the first corner. And so it just led the rest of the way to the Brazilian and the 17-year-old. The French F4 champ back in 2018, part of the Renault Junior driver program. Oh, it's harder. Someone trying to launch it into the first corner, like many drivers did. That was the main overtaking spot, was the Southern Loop. I was very surprised at that. But it's an awesome corner. And so yeah, the Brazilian just drove away and grabbed his first official victory. Of course, they did the finish line in the first race in Highlands, but it got taken away from him. So after such a disappointing first weekend of the season, couldn't have started much better, could it? And he had a very good weekend overall as well. Got 8th in the second race in a reverse grid race. Couldn't really do much from there's a top 8 got reversed for the second race. But then had a superb race in the third one as well, where he drove through the field from, I think it was 11th on the grid to 5th in the end. So yeah, he's definitely going to be one of the drivers to watch from now on to get not just in the top 5, maybe even higher. With how up and down Tsunoda is, and Saucy being consistent but not consistently challenging for the podiums. God, we're not doing well that time, are we? Like in real life, as in the fastest that was from Liam Lawson in the third race, he did a 53.9. They're mostly low 54s like him and Frog in that last race, so we're on that speed, but as you can see, everyone's just so much quicker. God, he just shut the car that first one and just trust the downforce will stick. There we go, that's better. And so Colette won that first race ahead of Saucy, who had Frog breathing down his neck, particularly towards the end of the race, but he just couldn't find a way by Swiss driver. So great drive from the Swiss. Hold on. And great job from Frog. I know he was on pole, and that start cost him the victory. He still got on the podium. Still took points out of Lawson, who qualified down in 13, but had a superb drive through the field up to 6th in the end. It's all clipping the grass. Don't want to be doing that. As behind Friday, I got a Pinto, the Argentine, with another very solid result. After always improving in Highlands. Didn't quite repeat that podium he got in the last race there though. And then rounding out the top 5, I can quickly glance across, which I can't. There we go, we got it straight now. So that was Edo Cohen. I forgot about Edo. He was ready, having a superb weekend. Battling long with Lawson and held off the Australian, or Kiwi should I say. To the flag, despite Lawson's best efforts. That's all, we're getting a battle on it. Just about holding on. Well, everyone's scarpered off, haven't they? We're not going to repeat our top 10 from the first race we did. I'm even going to hold on to 17th, are we, with that kind of driving? Just hold the middle of the road, it should be fine. Hopefully they won't go around our outside. But yeah, this Israeli got 5th in the first race, always he tries. Got 4th in the second race in the reverse grid race. Didn't quite get a top 10 in the last race, but still, great improvement from the first weekend in Ireland. Maybe eyeing a podium up next time out in Hampton Downs. So there's also Zendetti in the top 10 in 7th as well. Oh, so once again just outbraked herself in the final corner. So who else was there? Was Perchesk, who did some great moves, and Deno as well. The teenager got the first grid pole for the second race and blew everyone away in that second race to win in only his 5th ever car race. I mean, he's making his car debut in this series. Superb job from the Frenchman. Hold off the pressure of Zendetti. Took advantage of the reverse grid to grab second. Ahead of Lawson, his old rival and friend. And then just off the podium had Cohen. Did a good job to hold off Pinto. Actually, it was Zendetti. It was kind of a Zendetti train by the end. And you also had Fraga as part of that. Then Sonoda as well. And Colette. Then further down, you had Saucy down in 9th, a bit anonymous. And round out the top 10 was Blanco. In his last appearance probably in the TRS this year, having a superb weekend in Teratonga where he was very consistent. Apart from the top guys like Lawson, Fraga, Pinto and Colette, he was the only other driver to finish in the top 10 in all of the races. Very consistent, very good job from Puerto Rican before his seat gets taken by the lightning fast Dutch teenager who turned 16, so he can finally race at Hampton Downs. Yeah, Jose Blanco ended the season on a high as well, finishing 9th in the last race as well, after those couple of 10th places. But in the final race, there was a surprising qualifying where the Australian Jackson Walls grabbed pole. Very impressive that. After he made a mess of the first race, like he hit the young American in the back, broke his suspension. Or was it Tasuda? I think he might have hit Japanese driver actually, which ruined his race. Then yeah, he was only 16th in the second race. And then grabs pole, or 15th should I say, and then grabs pole in his final race. We're not doing a very good job, are we? 55s. They're being those 54s consistently. It's time to push, you know, we're just letting everyone get a head start. Yeah, I think we're destined to finish last. I might have to turn it down from 90 for some of these tracks. Because I did practice early in the week, I was doing those low 54s, high 53s. And I was right on the pace. And now we turn up the race and suddenly they're all much quicker than me. That's a bit better than that. Yeah, in the final race, we saw Lawson win again. As he was trying, got a good qualifying. Not quite pole, but he got a superb start, took the lead and led the rest of the way ahead of Fraga. And those two were in a class of their own for the nation. Was it a couple of nations I believe they were fighting for. And at the midway point, it got a bit interesting as Lawson, he says he suffered a bit of an electrical glitch where the car just lost power for a few seconds. And Fraga was right in his arse, but then Lawson got into those high 53s, Fraga couldn't quite match that. But the gap was never bigger than like 1.5 seconds. It was as low as like half a second. It was great driving from the both of them, and for Fraga, that victory is surely coming at Hampton Downs next time out. But for Lawson, the second feature race victory in a row. He's winning the big ones, he's winning the ones he needs to. But in the championship, he's got 153 points, so Fraga's 135. So those two, when I say seems like to be an established order at the top, it's those two. They tend to be a class above the rest. Like, they may be matched on occasion, but throughout a whole weekend, seems like they're just much more consistent than the rest at the moment. Of course, you never know if Fraga will just fall off a cliff, or if Lawson will have a troublesome weekend. But third in the championship behind him is Saucy. He's finished the last race in 6th, but he got beaten by Cadet. That superb drive from 11th to 5th, like the Brazilian was on it, and again, he might be one who can match Lawson and Fraga for consistency during a weekend, maybe. French teenager, we will see. He's definitely got the pace to match them, no doubt about that. He definitely showed that in the first 2 rounds of the season. Well, now we're matching their pace, but we're 7 seconds back. Looks like. We're getting inconsistent 54s now, that's the difference. So what's this lap time? There you go, 54.3, our fastest. So behind Lawson and Fraga in that last race was Tsunoda with another podium, but I'll just say the Japanese driver, I know it's new circuits to him, but it's new circuits for Fraga as well, and Fraga's outperformed him. Yeah, Tsunoda's the one that with the Red Bull back in as well, just like Lawson. Expected big things from him with his promotion up to F2 for this season with Carlin, and he hasn't lived up to the billing so far. I know he got a victory in Highlands, but it was a reverse grid race. Like, he needs feature race results, he needs podiums in feature race. That's one on the board. But yeah, he's never quite on the pace of Fraga or Lawson or Colette as far as the weekend, so he needs to step it up for Hampton Downs if he's going to get, more importantly for him, the super license points that he wants. Because at the moment, Lawson could jump in him in the queue. I know Red Bull and Honda want Japanese driver up there though, in F1. Eventually they had Matsuda in F2 for a while, the former Japanese F3 champ who seems to be sticking around in F2 for 5th season, but kind of to his own devices it seems like. But yeah, Nelson who just jumped him to that card in F2 seat. Like, he needs to perform, he needs to be on it. That's the pressure of the Red Bull back in, unfortunately. Like, if he don't perform, Marco's going to eye up the next young thing he thinks will be the next Vettel or Verstappen. That's the pressure, and that's the problem of the Red Bull system. Lots of young driver systems. It's not just Red Bull, you've got the Renault, Ferrari, McLaren. Do McLaren still have a system? They don't really have one now, do they? It doesn't seem like. Now they've got Norris and Sainz on board, they don't really need one, do they? They're set for the next 10 years at least, really. They keep them both happy. There you go, mid-53s, that's more like it. See, now we're setting the pace that we should have done from the beginning. Now do it all by ourselves. But yeah, it was great 3 races that Teratonga. I'm very much looking forward to Hampton Downs, the next race. It's like a fun track as well. All the tracks look fun, to be honest. Like, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed Highlands from what I knew, like quite tight and twisty, but still was a blast. So we're getting our 53 pace now finally. So I know fuel's running out. We should be near the end of the race then if the fuel is showing up. Because I fueled it for 26, 27 laps. But yeah, that's all we said about Teratonga. Who do we say it's going to be coming out on top in Hampton Downs? Well, one thing's probably for certain, Lawson will win the third race. As I was saying, the race has ended. Yes. Where's the flag? No flag's coming out. Ridiculous. Oh, are they pinned? I thought I filled everyone up to the end. Maybe not. I'll take the freebies. But yeah, I definitely think Frog will get his first victory as well at Hampton Downs. Once again, be very close to him and Lawson, points wise. But don't rule out Cadet. Can't rule out Brazilian now. Maybe Saucy as well. He seems to always be. He's got the wrong way to raise it really on it. As we've run out of fuel. But we've got to make it to the finish. Is this the finish? I made a miscalculation. Yeah, everyone had to pit. So that's one way to end it. I'm going to bring out the safety car, block the racer line. There we go. Here we go. Or just pull off. Can we pull off? No, that's where we're going to stay. So yeah, we miscalculated that slightly, but yeah, that was Teratonga. I probably should have done this to 20 laps rather than 25. And I will be back next time with Hampton Downs next week, reviewing the action from the Toyota Racing Series once again. Who do you think will be on top? Let me know down below. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.